This is how we helped an AI fashion app generate roughly 400,000 app downloads with TikTok creators. The metrics in the period were around 380,000 organic downloads, more than 2,500 posts, and around 100 million views, all with a few TikTok accounts. In the client dashboard, you can see early on a clear before and after. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Alex. I'm the co-founder of Plutus Media, and we help consumer apps scale with organic content and UGC. So in this specific case, you can see a client dashboard with around 600,000 daily views in one singular Instagram account. This is the account I'm mentioning. You can see some of the views here. And we created this channel to show you what works, what doesn't, the lessons we're learning from doing it ourselves, and ultimately how to do it yourself, right? So the first step when doing any project, and specifically with this AI fashion app, is understanding our avatar, understanding the one truth that you're not creating for everyone. One big mistake is that in marketing, you try to talk to too many people to go viral. There's this misconception that if you try to broaden your audience, you will have better results. And that's just not true, because great content speaks to one person in one moment. And you need to ask yourself, when you're defining your avatar, your ideal customer, you need to ask yourself, what do they want? What's their ultimate goal? What do they believe in? What are the beliefs that you can leverage? These are the things that are actually going to lead to good controversy. You don't want to be controversial for the wrong reasons. By questioning their beliefs, this is how you get good controversy, and you get a lot of comments, a lot of engagement. You need to understand how they talk. You need to understand the terms and language of the insiders of the niche that you're targeting. And you need to also understand what makes them emotional, their trigger points, so you can get them to buy, you can get them to convert. This is what makes a good CTA. So everything in the beginning lies in the ICP and the avatar that needs to be very well defined. You need to have a customer snapshot with their name, demographic, problem, language, interest, limiting beliefs. You need to understand this inside out. And that's exactly the first problem we solve when working with a client, is understanding, okay, who are we going to target with this campaign? Because then that leads you to having the problem and the limiting belief, and attaching that to a format, to a high-performing format on TikTok, a style of video that already works very well, and that's what's going to get you to a point where you're performing at a high level. Then you need to choose content styles that match the angle. This is one thing we've done with this AI fashion app. You need to choose, for example, talking head content, slideshows, faceless videos. You need to understand what that audience is already consuming, and you need to reverse engineer that into your content and how you're going to pitch your app with a style that the people you're targeting already consume, right? So this is crucial to have a good campaign, a high performing campaign with longevity as well. And examples of proven formats are, POV storytelling, so people talking to the camera and telling a story, a list hook with slides, so 5 things you didn't know about X, and then you go into it with the slides, and you have a CTA slide. That's another example. Reaction and text, so having someone react with a text overlay about the niche and the problem you're going to solve, and then your usual transformations with before and after results. So those are some examples, but the underlying factor when you're pitching any product is transformation. You are solving a problem for that person, and you need to know how to pitch it and how to convey transformation, right? So for this AI fashion app, we did a series of celebrities, and we were showing celebrities before they knew their colors and after they knew their colors, right? So we're pitching the problem that the product solves through showing a transformation of someone that the ICP already knows, which is a celebrity, right? We used Kim Kardashian, we used a lot of those. And the next step here, once you have all of this defined, once you have at least an idea of where you're going, is to go for sourcing, to get creators, right? And this is just an example of what we've done in that period, with some of the responses we've had in forums and that we still have today in our application forms. And in the period, I think it was here from the 25th of June to the 10th of July, so roughly 2 weeks, we held 75 interviews with potential creators. And when you're vetting, you need to look for high lifetime organic views. You need to look for on-camera comfort and basic skills in framing, hooks, storytelling, and pacing. Usually, you can see this through just requesting a sample of a 1 to 2 minute video of them telling you about their history, telling you about their experience, and you'll already be able to tell if they would make a good creator or not, especially for a talking head style, which is the hardest, in my opinion, to do well. So then you need to select the creators based on their success with given formats. What this means is, if you're going to do a campaign that's mainly slideshows, you need to look for creators and you need to vet creators based on how good they are with slideshows, right? This is important because past content tells you what formats they already do well, and you just match their historical winners to what works for your avatar. So you're not forcing a fit with a creator into a new format and you're trying to teach them into things that they don't do well historically. You're just amplifying their existing skills. Then you need to have a feedback loop with these creators once they're selected, which is also what we do. After the posts are out, you need to review the analytics on a daily. You need to adjust based on data. And when I say data, I mean watch time is the biggest thing to look for, is watch time. You need to see where the drop-offs are in your analytics and correct that in further videos. Make that part of the video stronger to keep your viewers' attention. And then you repost. Then you post again with those corrections in place, right? And if you do that well, this is what it looks like. You have a bunch of posts that look very similar that are all high performing. You see here that the threshold of views is very high through a lot of posts, right? So this is what you want when you're scaling a campaign, is you want to figure out what's the repeatable formula. And the only way to do it is through having feedback from the market, from TikTok, and applying that feedback in your future posts, right? This is another misconception I hear a lot, which is that for some reason, I don't know, the algorithm is against you. And that's just not true. TikTok, Instagram, these platforms give you all the tools you need to perform. They want you to go viral. They want you to keep more people on the platform. Everyone benefits if you do put out high-performing posts. So you just need to look through that data. You just need to understand what it means and make changes based on that, okay? Then we go into volume. People try to shortcut their way to volume. They think just throwing spaghetti on the wall is what's going to make a winning campaign. But all of these steps are needed before you start applying volume. But volume is ultimately what creates the winners. So first the market decides. You can't fully predict what goes viral. You need volume for that. So more content increases the chances of success, and obviously you have more shots on goal, right? More volume is more opportunity. Obviously using this volume strategically to double down on winners. When a video crossed with this AI fashion app 50K to 100K views, we reposted it across other accounts, meaning Instagram, Snapchat, all these other platforms, created 3 to 5 variations, and then turned the format into a repeatable asset. So we turned it into templates, we turned it into walkthroughs for future creators and for the existing team to be able to do that and to double down on the things that were working. And once again, if you do it right, this is what it looks like. You have a lot of posts that are high performing and that look very similar because there is a formula for that success. So in one of the last notes, one of the things the client has done here very well is also use ads strategically, especially Spark ads. So you look through what the highest performing posts are and you amplify those with install campaigns, right? You retarget all the engagers and you redirect them to install, right? The key thing for this, and we have another video on this with Mark, is to make sure that the videos you're sparking, the videos you're boosting with ads are already fairly product centric, right? They're already very clearly pitching a transformation and showing that there's a problem that this product solves. That's how you get good conversions from those campaigns. So just to wrap up, we had 2 viral angles and 2 high converting formats, as you can see here, and we used them across all our accounts, and the metrics in this period were, once again, 380,000 organic downloads, more than 2,500 posts, and around 100 million views, with a team of 15 creators across 5 months. And if this interests you, if you want to see more breakdowns like this, let us know in the comments and subscribe. Thank you.